When I do stuff like that, my 10-year-old son will always remind me, "Hey, Dad, I know you were born in the 19s, man, but like,
you were born in the 1900s."
That dude will tell me, "I know you were born in the 19s."
Yeah.
The 19s.
Yeah, they just call
That's how he refers to it.
Yeah, they just call us olds. Like,
Olds.
I had a student be like, "Well, that's because you're an old." I'm like, "An old?" And they're like, "Yeah, that's why you want to do it that way." I'm like, "I'm not old.
Your birth year has a 9,
a one in front of it. What is happening to you?" Yeah. So let's talk. So as we get this, so we've talked about who Gen Z, like who they are. We got their base stats. We talked about what they want, work, and all those things. So let's talk about, just throw it out there theoretically. Let's talk about what they can be. All right, so some ideas. So we're just going to throw it out. There's no, before we had stats and everything, but here we just have a couple strengths we can go through. So some of their strengths, they're pragmatic. Okay? They value relationships.
Yep.
And this is the interesting thing we talked about. They love people, no matter how different or shocking their lifestyles are. And I've seen that, very accepting. Kids walk in my classroom, just face full of metal. Nose piercings, eyebrow piercing, bunch of ear piercings, the like under the right here piercing. In growing up in my high school, that kid probably would have got teased by a couple. They would have went to their little group. They would tease. They just kind of come in and they're all talking. Like, they're all hanging out. It's your value as what you offer. And they almost don't even see that, which is super interesting to me. They're self-starters. They create jobs, content. They dislike hypocrisy, which is interesting. They would not follow institutions just because they're supposed to. They want evidence before they accept something as true. So that's the hashtag real, that Jason Bateman said.
Okay.
So that's some of their strengths. Some of their weaknesses. Empathy can overcome their morality. As we talked about, something that's good is something that doesn't hurt anybody else. We talked about Rose, like thinking about that, they can say, "Oh, I care so much about what they feel." Maybe they go against their own morals, which puts you in an interesting spot. And they have aversion to make any judgments due to their belief that truth and morality is relative. So they kind of, where our generations are
that's a big one there, man.
I know, like, it's a thick one. Our generations, the older generations, is like you have your core morals and values, and it is like, that is what I live by. It is cemented. Theirs are truth and morality is relative to the situation I'm in right now, which is super. It's scary.
It's fluid,
right? Yeah, and it's such a fluid. Like, does society get better because of that? Because we are just kind of moving and adjusting, and we're not so stuck on these. And we've seen where these morals have got us stuck.
In principle, it seems like it could work, right? You're not so rigid that the thing crashes or cracks or whatever. What's the whole Bruce Lee like philosophy, man? Be like water, right? I mean, essentially, be like grass, right? You bend but don't break. So that feels like that's the place that they're trying, to come from,
right?